Everybody okay here?
Everything's fine! Cuff him! Get up!
Are you all right?
I'm fine. Are you okay? You're bleeding all over.
Look.
You need to go to the hospital.
No.
Yes.
If you're safe, I'm all right.
Cruz! Thank God!
Baby.
Oh, thank God!
You all right? I was frantic about you.
Sorry.
Come here.
Sorry.
Crazy looking for you. First went to the house and looked for you. You're all right. We found Gina.
After today, I don't ever want to see your face. I don't want to hear your name. Right now, you got some questions to answer. What were you trying to do to my daughter?
I was under the impression that Gina already explained it all. Isn't that right, Ted?
Yeah, she told us you were trying to kill Eden and Cruz.
Is that what you said?
This isn't the first time you try to kill Eden, is it?
You want to talk about attempted murder, CC? Fine! I'll talk about it. How about you, huh, Gina? You want to talk about it, too?
This is evidence. Contact headquarters, tell them everything's okay. And stay by your cars. I'll bring this man out shortly. I just want this.
Daddy, you want to hear Kirk admit that he tried to kill me in the boathouse? All you have to do is listen to that tape.
You heard this?
Gina played it for me. Kirk was trying to kill her, too.
I don't understand, Kirk. What did Eden or Gina ever do to you?
Come on, man, Ted. You never could see what's going on right in front of you, could you?
He thought Cruz and Eden were having an affair, but they weren't.
How can you say that? You saw them, you heard them, what else do you want?
Well, he acted like that, Kirk. They were trying to bring you out in the open. I knew all about it.
Oh, I see. So you're just going to continue to believe whatever you want to believe. Is that it, Santana?
Eden, you heard this whole thing?
He was in the boathouse that night, and he was up on the catwalk with a rifle. And he told Gina that if she didn't kill me, that he was going to kill both of us.
How could you ever think you could get away with this?
I haven't had the pleasure of hearing the whole thing yet, Kirk. What else is on it?
You want to hear it? Why don't you ask Gina, huh? She's the one that made the tape. Isn't that right? You know exactly what's on it, don't you, Gina?
Why, you...
Come on, why don't you talk to these people? Why don't you tell them exactly what you tried to do to Cece?
Well, we're listening, Gina.
Yeah, come on, Gina. I tell him myself, but I'm sure you'd rather put it in your own words. Go ahead, talk to him.
Wait a minute. As bad as I want to hear this, I'm not going to ask you to stand there and incriminate yourself. Now, if you want a lawyer, that's your right. That's yours, too. They read you your rights, didn't they?
No. No, it's gone on too long. If the information has to come out, it might as well be now in front of everybody that's here.
Better be sure.
It got out of control. I couldn't stop it. And now I am tired. I am too tired to keep it up.
Go ahead, then.
When I look at Cece, you seem so strong and healthy. And when I think about that period of time when you were in the coma, it all seems like a dream. But when I remember myself, I remember a woman who was frightened, who was desperate, who would do anything. But I've changed. I'm different now. I would never let myself get to that point. I would never let myself be so weak again.
Why don't you just tell us what happened, huh?
Because I'm trying to explain the circumstances as they were. You were threatening to take everything away from me, Brandon, everything. And then before that could happen, you were paralyzed. You couldn't do anything. You couldn't move. You couldn't talk. You couldn't hurt me. And all I could think of was how I was going to keep you that way. I dreaded the day that you would wake up and you would dole out your punishment to me. I couldn't stand it. I couldn't sleep at night. I was too scared. And when I did sleep, I woke up with nightmares.
Go on, Gina.
I remembered the promise that Eden made. That if you ever became too helpless and you couldn't take care of yourself, you didn't want to go on, you didn't want her to prolong your life. That seemed like the answer to my dreams. I mean, you'd asked for it. You wanted to die. And Eden couldn't make up her mind. She couldn't decide what was right. And so I decided for her.
What are you saying?
I put on the wig. I had a dress duplicated to look like Eden's, and I knew everybody would think that I was her.
You did it. You stopped the machines.
I thought I was putting everybody out of their misery. You, me, the whole family. I was desperate. I was willing to do anything.
You were willing to frame Eden? That's what you were. You were willing to frame my daughter.
She was in the closet, Daddy. When I came into your room that night, I passed out because she drugged me. And she finished what she thought I'd already begun.
I thought it was for the best. I didn't think there was any hope. I thought you were going to go on like that forever. I thought you would be better off.
Don't you dare make it out an act of mercy. It was a cold-blooded act of attempted murder. The plans, the pains you took to frame Eden.
I never thought of Eden. All I thought of was myself. And I thought of Brandon and everything that I had fought for. Eden, I can't expect you to understand. But I am so sorry. God, if I could only get you to believe that.
And you knew. You knew all along that it wasn't me. And you let me believe that I was the one who did it. Every time you wanted me to think that you were the only one that understood. The only one that protected me. I was totally dependent on you. I was this frightened, helpless wife. And when you thought I was getting too confident, you sent me blackmail notes, right? Oh, what a stroke of genius. Make me too frightened and then keep coming to my rescue. After all, what's a loving husband for? Right? How could you do that to me? What was the point?
It was because I loved you.
You don't do that to someone you love. Everything between us was a lie. Everything. How could you live that way?
It was worth it. Just to feel close to you, Eden. And to feel like you needed me.
Sick need. And I was grateful to you because you didn't hate me the way I hated myself. I was grateful to you. But I never loved you. Not for 1 minute. Not even in the beginning.
I believe you. Santana? My wife has never stopped lusting after your husband. And I really don't believe she ever will. You know, it's going to be really easy for him right now with me out of the picture, so I'd be very careful if I were you. Because now they can meet whenever they want. Well, you just live out your life in your little dreamland.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Really? Well, you're not the only one who's blind here. Everyone in this room right now. You're all deluding yourselves. Ted? Always wanting to be man enough to stand up to your father, but never willing to take the first step? And speaking of fathers, Cece, you always talk about this family like it's some kind of a sacred refuge. When everyone knows that the only thing sacred to Cece Capwell is something with a dollar sign on it.
Have we heard enough, Cruz?
Yeah, I think we have.
No! No, I just want to say goodbye to Gina first, if that's okay. Look at you. Are you really going to beg for forgiveness from these people, Gina? Do you really want to live among these hypocrites? We're just gonna strip you down again. Let's take a walk, Cruz. You're gonna make a perfect cat boss someday, you know? Cruz. Got that face that you show to the outside world, and then the other one inside of you. That one's not very pretty, is it? The honorable family member, the honorable public servant, and all this time, honorably lusting after another man's wife.
I'm gonna have one of the sheriff's men book you and see that you get transported back to Santa Barbara for arraignment. Let's go.
Cruz, wait. What about Gina?
What about her?
Aren't you going to arrest her, too?
Aren't you?
I'm gonna deal with you right now.
What about her? You are going to have her arrested, aren't you?
About time to break up this little party, folks.
Well, what are you waiting for? Arrest her.
First, I need to be sure that we know what we're doing here.
She tried to kill you. She just said so. Don't they arrest people for doing things like that anymore?
Right now, I feel arresting her would be almost too kind.
You are all talking like she's some kind of monster. She's trying to make up for what she did. She saved Eden's life in the boathouse, and today, risking her own. Doesn't that mean anything?
That doesn't absolve her from attempted premeditated murder.
Now, wait a minute. You wouldn't have known anything if I hadn't have played that tape for Eden. And I came forward myself. Nobody forced me. I did it voluntarily. I decided I had to let Eden know what Kirk was up to. And I would have come forward a lot sooner, but Kirk was threatening me. I had to make sure that Brandon was safe, and as soon as I found that out, I came forward and I told her everything.
Yes, Daddy, she did.
It doesn't change a thing.
That's the way I felt at first. I thought that Gina should have to pay for what she did. That granted, she saved my life at the boathouse, but she also saved her own. But today is different.
Oh, baby.
Because I told Gina that I was going to turn her in. And when she saw Kirk was going to kill us, she risked her own life and she saved ours.
That really happened?
Eden and I would both be dead if it wasn't for Gina. That's the basic truth.
I'm not saying that we should have to forgive her for what she did to you, Daddy. But I don't want revenge. I don't think we should press charges.
This is insane.
Santana, why can't we just let it end here?
Because it's not right. It's not justice. We can't close our eyes and pretend that there was no crime that was committed. Cruz, say something. You can't agree to this.
I don't think this is up to Cruz, Santana. The wrong was done to my father and me. I think that we should be the ones to decide what happens.
I just want to know what he thinks. I can't believe that he doesn't have an opinion.
No, I have plenty of opinions, Santana, but this is a difficult situation.
You willing to go along with whatever Eden says?
I'm thinking about Brandon. Now, if she's prosecuted, he's going to hear every sordid detail. What do you think that's going to do to him? What do you think it would do to any kid to hear that his mother tried to kill his father?
If it's the truth, then it's the truth. What has hurt Brandon are all the lies that he's been told, and Gina's told most of them.
No, I never wanted to hurt Brandon.
No, you have hurt Brandon. You've put his life in jeopardy. Now, if we let you go free, you'll try to get back into his life and hurt him all over again.
No, I won't.
You'll try to get Brandon back. I know you.
I won't this time, Santana. I know he's happy with you and Cruz. And he finally has a home. Look, I promise I won't interfere.
Gina, if we agree to not prosecute you, will you agree to leave the city?
If those are the conditions.
Now, she said she'd do that before. Dad tried to get her out of town. She always came back.
Ted, I think it's different this time.
Eden, you can't just let this completely go. She almost committed a very serious crime.
Yes, but she failed. Daddy's alive. He's fine. I think she's trying to make up for what she did. She saved my life. She saved Cruz's today.
Does that outweigh 2 attempted murders?
What?
What is it, Gina? Do you think I'd forgotten that you tried to kill me twice?